Hello YouTube, FilmBuff06 here, and I'm just going to do a rather mildly negative review, this time of a little action thriller film that you probably not have heard of, called Mercury Rising, which was released in 1998 and directed by Harold Becker, who, as far as I know, directed only 3 films. That's how much I personally know. I know he's directed several more, but as far as I personally know, he's directed three films. First of which was Malice, which featured Alec Baldwin, who stars in this film, and Nicole Kidman. Secondly is City Hall with Al Pacino and John Cusack. And the third one is Domestic Disturbance, which featured Steve Buscemi and Vince Vaughn. Now, anyway, this movie was based on a 1996 novel by Ryn Douglas Pearson called Simple Simon, or Simon Says, or vice versa. Now, the plot of this movie is that this maverick undercover FBI agent, Art Jeffries, played by John McClane from Die Hard himself, Bruce Willis, is assigned with a job to protect this autistic 9-year-old boy named Simon Lynch, played by Myco Hughes, from a bunch of shady bad guys who want to eliminate this child for the sake of the country, because this kid has managed to crack a special top secret super code which has inexplicably been hidden within the pages of a Geeks magazine. That's it for the plot. Now, I'm going to use this review also as an opportunity to reveal to you a personal fact about me. Now, most of my friends in everyday life all know that I have autism, that I am an autistic person. And I know, and I think I know what you've been thinking. I think you'd call me every name under the sun, like mental retard, or idiot, or the guy who just doesn't know a fucking thing, or stuff like that. But let me assure you that actually one of my fellow YouTube subscribers and a personal best friend of mine, Steph Felton, she is autistic as well, and I have to say that she and I are here on YouTube are living proof that autistic people will not only look like normal people, can not only be as intelligent as normal people, but also can do remarkable things just like normal people. um, and that's that. Now back to this movie. This movie is I didn't I just I don't hate the film, but this movie is pretty instantly forgettable. It's the cinematic equivalent of going out and getting drunk one night and then suffering a massive hangover, which makes you instantly forget about all the crazy shit you did that night. That's just what, and that's what I feel this movie does. You watch it, you come out of it, you watch it from beginning to end, have a silly laugh or two, and but then you forget about it the next day. I mean, what's even more confusing about this film is the jarring changes in tone. I mean, in particular, in tone, it just feels like a confused mess. It just doesn't know what it wants to be, whether it wants to be an action film, whether it wants to be, or whether it wants to be a domestic thriller film. It tries to be both, but ultimately it doesn't work because there's little suspense, little thrills. There isn't an awful lot of action involved, and it makes it harder to make you actually care about the characters that are involved in the situations that happen in this film. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about the performances. Most of the performances just feel phoned in. I mean, Alec Baldwin phones it in, She McBride phones it in, Kim Dickens phones it in, Myco Hughes, in fact, he actually does a pretty good job, and in his sort of accurate portrayal of how an autistic child at that age behaves. Insensitive to touch, quite bright with solving puzzles. What else? Not seeing things the way normal people do, finding it difficult to get on with people, engaging and maintaining friendships and or relationships, and I think you know the rest if you if you are studying for a medical for a PhD, if you're a university student and studying for a PhD, and looked it up in a medical journal, then I think you know. What can I say? Oh, Bruce Willis. He won a Golden Raspberry Award for his performance, which was combined with his performances in The Siege and Armageddon, and he does a worse job. He does such a worse job that I want to take him into a room and say to him, "What are you doing, man? What's happened to you? I know you are very well known for playing this type of character in the Die Hard films. But really, is that the best you've got for this role? Just please go and do something different to benefit your career. And given that this is the first time in which he co-starred with a child actor. At least he went on the very next year to coincidentally co-star alongside Haley Joel Osment in the vastly superior Sixth Sense. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to give my overall thoughts on this film. I didn't enjoy this in any way, shape or form. Just everything about the movie's production is just all over the place. The script is all over the place. The direction is all over the place. The acting is pretty terrible. The editing is all over the shop. The score is all over the shop. I mean it, just everything is all over the shop. I mean, if you seriously want, if you are seriously a Bruce Willis fan and want to see this film, please be my guest, because please be my guest, because you might be a fan of this film. I personally am not. And on that subject, again, if you are a serious Bruce Willis film, please go and watch the first Die Hard movie. It is an action classic, if not one of the action classics of all time. And you will have a much better time watching that film than watching this. And that's all I have to and that's my conclusion. And that's all I have to say about this film. Feel free to comment below, and please let me know if you are a Bruce Willis fan, and if so, tell me what is your favourite Bruce Willis film. Plus, feel free to subscribe to my channel, and until my next video, whatever it may be, please take care, everyone, and goodbye.